Service 365 contains reports to help you get the data that you need in order to manage your business effectively. So if I go into my reports tile here, you can see that I have a whole ton of reports relating to every module within the system. So for jobs, I have 5 separate reports that cover jobs, 2 reports that cover quotes, 4 reports that cover purchasing, to help you get the information in a whole bunch of different ways, depending on what it is you need to know in order to manage your business effectively. So if I go into the jobs report, and let's see what we have. So we're going to break this down and look at every aspect of this page and really help you get comfortable with how to run reports in Service 365, show you, how powerful these can be and how much data you can pull out. It's worth noting that when we onboard you to Service 365, so if you do sign up with us, helping you build out report templates is part of our onboarding service. So we do help you do this. We don't just throw you into this and say, here it is, run with it. We actually do help you build out this information so that you can get the data that you need really without too much configuration required. So let's see what we have here. So we have the grid with all of our columns, all of our data. We have a search box, a box where you can select a template, and some buttons here. So let's go through and explain this. So the search box is as you would expect. You can do a text search for the data within the report. Here is where you can select a template. So here you can see I've made some templates. Now, you can create global templates, meaning everybody who has access to that report can see it, or you can create personal templates that only you can see. You can email the report data to yourself automatically. So you can set up report emails to have this data sent to you by email every day, every week, however often it is you need to see it. So just for example, I want to see a list of all the quotes that we won yesterday, whatever it happens to be. You could get that email to yourself at, say, 8 a.m. every day so that you can review that ahead of that day without needing to even go into the system. You can get that data sent right into your inbox. You can create your own charts and graphs from any report within the system, so you can make your own dashboards for monitoring those KPIs. You can export the report data to Excel, and there's 1 or 2 other things you can do as well. So let's dive in and do this. So here I'm in the default template, which means I'm showing every column. So as I just scroll to the right, you can see the number of different columns within this report. So I can get I really can get a whole ton of data here. And if you watch the video relating to quotes, you will see that we can make attributes within the system as well. So these are custom fields for capturing data that you need to capture that's unique to your business. And the great thing about the attributes is when we put an attribute into the system, it comes out as a column within that report as well. So for example, if we created a very basic drop-down box that said job type and the options were residential or commercial, I could filter on that data within this report. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and build a template, really simple template, and then we'll do 1 or 2 things with that data. So we're in the default template right now, so I'm going to go new template, and I'll say it's a global template. I'm happy for other people to see that, and we'll just call it demo. Okay, so I've named my template, I'll save it. And now I can start configuring my options. I can hide the columns that I don't need, and I can filter the data a little better. So let's go ahead and put in some filters first. So if I say apply filters, what do we want to look for? Let's say we just want a list of all open jobs where the margin is greater than 50%. So we'll say add some criteria. We'll say the status of the job. So we want to know the job status. So we'll say status equals open. Okay, so we'll apply that. And then we'll filter on the margin as well. So we'll say margin, and we want greater than 50%. So we'll say greater than, and for a percentage you would write it as 0.5. So margin greater than 0.5. Okay, great. So I'm going to apply those filters. And now it's filtered my data down to 26 jobs, from hundreds of jobs down to 26. So we'll save that. So every time you make some changes to the template, whether it's showing or hiding columns or with the filters, you need to save that data. So save the template. All right, so I've put in some really basic filtering. So now I need to say, well, what columns do I want in the what columns do I actually want in view, because this is unmanageable the way it is now because we have hundreds of columns in here. So to do that, we would click on the eye, and the way I find it easiest to do is to just hide all of the existing columns and then bring back the ones that I want. So we'll go with the job number, the title, the customer, maybe we want the project manager, and we could find the margin, and let's say we want the price as well, which would be the sell price. So we'll say the total sell, we want to see that too. Okay, so let's save that. And now I've got my columns in the report, so I could reorganize this. So maybe I want to put the customer name column next to the job number column. I could do that, and I'm going to move margin to the end. So again, I've made some changes here. I've hidden the columns that I don't need, and I've reorganized the columns in the grid. So we'll say save again, just to make sure we don't lose the changes. Okay, so now we have a pretty basic report. What could we do with it now? So the first thing we could do is we can group by any of these columns here. So to group, say I want to group by project manager, I grab that and I drag it up into this grey box, and now I can group by the different PMs within the report. So I can ungroup it by just clicking the X there. So let's say I want this data emailed to me every day. So I click on create report email, and again we'll just say this is a demo. Who needs to receive it? So we'll say it's going to be me. Okay. Could put in additional recipients, but I'll leave it with myself for now. How often do I want to receive the email? Well, we'll say daily, weekly, monthly, or annually. We'll leave it as daily. 8:30 a.m. That's fine. Eastern time for me, but I could change that to any time zone within North America. I can configure the email subject and the email body. I can write my own bespoke text in there if I need to. I can say, yeah, I'm going to also include the report data in the email body. So when we do this, it will send us an email. It will always have an Excel spreadsheet attached, but we could also get the data dumped into the body. And we'll say save and close. Okay, so now I've set up an automated email, and the results of this template are going to be sent to me by email every day at 8:30 a.m. Okay, so we can also create charts from this data as well. So if I hit the create chart button, and now I'm onto the chart creation page, and I can create any of the charts you see here on the right. So if I wanted this in a bar chart, I could do that. So let's say I want to see the average margin of all the jobs broken down by the project manager. So we'll say average margin by PM. So for the horizontal axis, we'll pick the project manager. And by the way, when you're picking the columns here to go in, it has to be a column that you had in view in your template. So if you hid this column from the template, it won't show up here in the drop-down box. So you would need to go back into the template, add in that column, save it, and then come back and do this again. So we'll say the project manager, and the vertical axis, the y-axis will be the margin. And we want to see the average of that. So then let's go save and see what we got. Okay, let's just maximize this, and there you have it. So there is the average margin, a super basic chart, the average margin broken down by project manager. Now we have a separate video that shows you in more detail how to create charts and dashboards, and the link to that is in the description below this video. So that goes into more detail about how to create different types of charts, more advanced charts, but this video will focus more on the actual, how to filter the data in the reports. So let's go back to the report itself. So with the filters that we put in, obviously this data is going to change day by day. As I say, you can get it emailed to yourself. You can, change this template, add in different filters, add in different columns. You could also do batch editing of data within reports as well. So if I select all these jobs and I click change data, any attributes within the report, within the jobs, that are captured by this report, I can actually go ahead and update those on bulk. So using reports is a really easy way to update a whole bunch of data within your jobs, your quotes, etc., all in one go. If I go back out to the reports page, and again, just to show you, the number of reports that we do have, we do place a lot of emphasis on being able to track every piece of data within the system, every transaction that took place. So every line that was added to a job, every item that was received on a PO, every vendor invoice that was uploaded, how much did I pay for everything, how much did I charge out for everything, is all completely trackable within the system.